ideas, the next generation. STEMcx is an organization committed to putting minority students into STEM jobs of the future and giving students a chance to see someone who looks like them. This series interviews with trailblazers in the STEM field. Today we are joined by three great African American males in the health field, Mr. Jared Bourke, Dr. Cameron Brown, and Dr. Jarvis Owens. I'm very excited to do this interview because I am also a member of the Pathways in Technology Earlidge College High School, or P-Tech program at Domer High School, focusing on health and sciences. Now, to begin, I would like to ask each guest to tell us who they are, the schools they went to, and how they made it to where they are. Cameron, can we begin with you?
Yes. Well, my name is Dr. Cameron Brown. I just graduated from Hampton University School of Pharmacy. I actually completed the 6-year program where it consists of 2 years of undergrad and 4 years of actual, pharmacy professional school. And honestly, I always knew I kind of wanted to be a pharmacist since, middle school. And I made sure that I applied to schools that had a pharmacy school and had like a fast track program. And yeah, I'm here today.
Jarvis?
All right, so my name is Dr. Jarvis Owens. I'm a general dentist originally from the suburbs of Chicago. I went to Morehouse for undergrad and graduated in 2014. After that, I went and got my master's in biomedical sciences from Barry University, graduated in 2015. And I just graduated from the University of Michigan School of Dentistry in 2020. And so my interest in dentistry started in high school during career day. I had a dentist come. He showed a really cool procedure. Then I started shadowing him. And then, so that's where my initial interest sparked. And then prior to starting my freshman year at Morehouse, I did a summer program that exposed you to all the different STEM fields like medicine, pharm, dentistry, everything. And dentistry was the line that stuck with me, so, yeah.
Thank you. Jared?
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jared Bourke. I am a third-year medical student at VCU School of Medicine in Richmond, Virginia. I'm originally from Prince George's County, Maryland, and I attended Hampton University, graduated in 2018 with my Bachelor's of Science in Biology, and I matriculated to VCU School of Medicine in the fall of 2018. And I pretty much wanted to be a physician for as long as I can remember. I come from a family of pretty standard workers. My father was a police officer and my mother was a teacher. So the only exposure I ever had to medicine was what I learned in school and things like that. And I've always gravitated towards science. And then I realized that medicine was a perfect way to blend science with my love for people. So after I realized that, then there was no looking back, and I've been on the track for my doctor of medicine degree ever since.
Okay, thank you. Well, on to the next question. There's so much in the news about race and justice. How has being a Black man in the field affected you, Cameron?
Honestly, I feel like right now it gives me honestly more courage to be who I am and to stand up for myself. As of now, I can say I predominantly work in a predominantly white area, and I will not take disrespect. And I feel like that is kind of fueled with this current situation that's going on now. But, sometimes you just have to take, the bad and turn it into a good for yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jarvis?
So something that I think we all have in common is that we attended HBCUs for undergrad. And I feel like that gives you like a certain level of confidence and self-awareness that you can go into any situation and like own the room and like know who you are and like you're comfortable enough being a minority wherever you go. So it's definitely tough being one of a few in like whatever room you walk into, like Cameron said. Our field is like a predominantly white male field. So like seeing Black men in a room is like, it's hardly any of us. So, but in STEM specifically, since it is like that demographic, it's kind of like the state of the world that we're in today, right? So what's important that I found throughout dental school and even as a dentist is like building your own community. So like for dental school, we have SNDA, pharmacy has a program, medicine has SNMA, I think. And so like that community within your profession is like so important that whenever you're going through tough times, like you can lean on that for support.
Yes, sir. Jared?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna piggyback off both points and say that, you know, especially for me growing up where I did around a lot of Black people and then going to an HBCU where there's even more Black people and then coming into medical school where I am one of four, it was definitely a culture shock for me. And I think that especially in the climate that we're in now more than ever, I think as Black men, especially in a field where we're already underrepresented, now more than ever, we need to stand on who we are and be confident in that and walk in that and know that, yeah, I'm different, but that doesn't make me less. That doesn't make me less smart or less resourceful than you are just because I look different than you. And I think that the climate we're in now, we got to inspire young Black men and even young Black women to be confident in who they are and where they come from, because people can take that for granted. It can be stripped away from you at any moment. And I think that it's very important to walk in the fact that, yes, I am a Black man, but I'm still just as capable as anybody else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, the next question is, how do you think COVID-19 will affect healthcare in the future? Cameron?
Well, I believe COVID-19 has opened a lot of gaps that we have in our healthcare system, you know, and made it public. So one, I believe that first we have to really restructure our entire healthcare system and the way that it, you know, goes. I'm finding myself now that I'm being a pharmacist in the community, I have to start doing COVID testing. So there's a lot of challenges that, you know, are coming that I didn't even think I would have to face. And I think people will have to start to realize that we will never go back to normal. And yeah, it's just really a test of time.
Jarvis?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Cameron. I think healthcare definitely needs to be restructured. Firstly, like having it tied to a job, having your health insurance tied to a job is a complete disaster. And you have millions of people without a job. And now, so those benefits are gone too. For dentistry specifically, I think it's like pushing us faster towards doing like virtual consultations and things like that. So telemedicine, it was already like rising, but now it's like severely accelerated with COVID. With PPE, I think we've already been pretty cautious about that regarding PPE. And I think definitely we'll also see more patients being more cognizant of infection control. So it's up to us to like stay on top of everything, because like patients are going to be watching, like make sure we wash our hands, making sure we're gowned up, gloved up, and everything like that.
Okay, thank you. Jared?
Yeah, for sure. Cameron's original point was where my mind first went, is that it uncovered everything that's wrong with healthcare in the United States. Like this really just showed us how much red tape it is to go through just to keep people healthy and keep people safe. And that's a problem, right? Granted, it's not a problem that we can solve in a week. But I think what COVID also did was it gave the public, the general public, more of a stake in their own health. I think more people are taking charge of their own health, and more people are becoming more aware of what is healthy, what isn't, what's safe, what's not. And I think that, like Cameron said, we'll never go back to normal, which is true, but I think that's not necessarily a bad thing, because now businesses and companies and even individual people will take better steps to be safer and be cleaner and take better care of themselves and their families. And I think that it's unfortunate that it had to happen this way, but that is a positive, I think, that'll come out of it, is that just the general sense of public health is going to be much higher.
Thank you. Okay. Well, what advice would you give someone like me, a student who is interested in becoming a part of the healthcare field in the future? Cameron?
First, I would say, especially during this time, try to reach out to, you know, especially Black professionals that, you know, have their own independent companies where you can, you know, maybe shadow. For me, I've seen so many people fall to the wayside just because they didn't know exactly what they were getting themselves into, or if that they were really interested in what they're doing, because they tie, you know, pharmacy 6 years and you'll start making great money, but are you really interested? So unless you're very interested in your topic that you're studying, you won't excel. And I think that's important, finding out what you're interested in and not just doing it for either monetary or other, gains or making somebody else happy. Really finding out what makes you happy and then, honing in on that interest. So I think that's like the biggest thing. One and another part is what I'm still struggling to conquer is procrastination. If you can get a down like schedule or, get disciplined early in life, that will help you out through college and through the rest of your career.
Okay, thank you. Jarvis?
Yeah, Cameron hit it right on the head. The first important thing is really like exposure, like finding out what truly interests you. So like once you find that interest, like you need to maintain that spark. That spark will carry you throughout your whole pursuit of whatever that interest is. So like you really need to like never lose sight of that goal, because it's a long journey. Like Cameron said, 6 years, sometimes 8 or 10 years, whatever. So along that journey, you're gonna have plenty of distractions, but you always got to keep that goal at the forefront of your mind. I remember when I started my freshman year at Morehouse, in the biology department, they tell you, look to your left, look to your right. One or both of those people are not going to be here by the time it's time for you to graduate. So like that just goes to show like how easy it is to fall off track of pursuing like a STEM career or whatever. But so like you always need to keep that focus on that goal, and also surround yourself by people who are actually like pushing forward. Like the saying, you're the average of like the 5 people you surround yourself by. It's so true. And so like my friend group, my mentors, everything, they push me towards where I've gotten to today.
And just to piggyback on what Jarvis just said, I don't joke, but me and one of my friends, we always say, I started out in a back corner in my class. In pharmacy school, we have one classroom, all the teachers come to you. In that back corner, it was about maybe 8 or 10 of us. Only 2 of us graduated on time, and only 3 of us are actually still going to graduate in the program. So like he said, you really have to, get that friend group that's going to hold you accountable throughout those years, because it will be tough. Like it will be tough. So yeah.
Okay. Jared?
Yeah, they hit 2 of the main points, but the one thing I'll add is I think that it's crucial in this journey to be prepared for it to not go exactly how you may have planned it. Because I'm the kind of person that I have a one-track mind, and I try to plan out my own life to a T. And sometimes I get flushed. I'm still learning this lesson myself, obviously, but sometimes I get a little bit flustered and discombobulated when things don't go exactly how you plan it. And in a journey like this in healthcare, where the journey is long, you got to be prepared for it to not go just the way you plan it sometimes. And just because it's not going the way you plan doesn't mean you're not going to reach the goal. It just means that you may have to take a couple of different steps that you didn't originally think you may had to, but that's not a bad thing. And I think that you'll do yourself a great service, and you'll be way ahead if you accept that early on and just take the journey for what it is and keep that in mind.
Okay, well, I think we have time for one more question. This is, what has been the hardest part of your journey, Cameron?
I think the hardest part was is motivation, honestly. There's been times, especially in like pharmacy school, where I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that will happen a lot, honestly. And just to keep the motivation, that I think that was the hardest, like being motivated to continue to go to class day in and day out, study day in and day out. And then also like with my program, I started undergrad and then went into pharmacy school my junior year. So my junior year, I was taking graduate level classes. So I had to grow up so fast. Like the maturity that I had to do was just mind blowing compared to like my friends who, were still in biology and we were taking organic chemistry. So I had to change and adjust very quickly compared to, a lot of my other friends. And then even, after that adjustment, senior year, when all my friends left, I was still at Hampton University. So alone, kind of, not alone, but it was kind of a lonely journey after that. So being motivated and being agile, I would say, is like the biggest thing to, keeping this course.
Thank you, Jarvis.
For me, I would say it was balance, and like, so finding balance for personal time versus like the pursuit of whatever goal it may be. I'm the type of person where I can really become like obsessive over something, like especially like if it's like my lifelong goal that I've been pursuing. And so like finding balance, just taking personal time, whether it be go work out, go travel, just go be a normal person, and like don't solely define yourself by whatever your career goal is. Like you're still a person outside of whatever it is you're pursuing. So like you got to keep that holistic point of view. And
Jared?
Yeah, for me, it's a hybrid of Cam's point, but for me, still is, because I'm still in school. For me, it's the delayed gratification of it all, because it's hard sometimes seeing my friends and my peers that are outside of college and they're buying houses and traveling and getting married and stuff like that, but I'm still studying like I was 4 years ago when we were all in college, and that's hard, because it's like, am I missing out on things in life? And you really have to, that's where you have to really be in love with what you're pursuing, because it's delayed gratification, and it's hard because you oftentimes ask yourself, why am I doing this when I could be doing something else? But if it's really what you love and you stay the course, and it'll all be worth it 10 times over one day. But it's just hard sometimes staying in the moment when you realize how far you have to go. And I think that the sooner that you master that, the easier the journey will be, because you won't be thinking about what if, you'll just think about what's in front of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, that's everything. I thank each and one of you for coming out today and speaking on your hardships and your past and studying. No one likes to do that, but it is what it is.
And it doesn't end. I still have to take my boards.
Yeah.
It doesn't end. It never will end.
Yeah.
Even as doctors, like every year you got to hit a certain amount of CE requirements. So you're going to be still taking classes as a professional. So
even me, I just started taking anatomy and physiology. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, anatomy was not. Yeah. And I just want to piggyback on the delayed gratification. Like for me and Jarvis this year, we did not have a graduation. So for me, I literally moved to my new apartment, like even before my original graduation date. And I've just been working. So like, it's just like, I just fell into the career, and it's just like, I have not celebrated or did anything. So that's kind of hard, but like you said, staying motivated and knowing like you're on this career path for a reason. Just me thinking out loud, like I think about like, I've done this like for my grandparents and for my past ancestors. No one in my family has like ever had a doctorate degree or like even a high level degree like this. So I kind of get the gratification from my family members who, are more excited than I am about this degree. So you'll find your ways to stay motivated and just think about those through your hard journey.
Okay, well, anything else?
Yeah, I'll just add that it is a hard journey, but if like we all said it at one point, but if you love what you do and if you love what you're studying, then stick with it. It's going to be hard, and anything in life that's worth having is going to be hard work. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So if you find something that you love, if you want to be a physician, if you want to be a pharmacist, a dentist, whatever it is, then pursue it and don't give up at any point, because it'll be